Hello and welcome, my name is Dayan, and in today's video we're gonna go over how to find yourself, your path, whatever you wanna call it. Because I know that I was having trouble with that for 8 full years. Can you imagine that? 8 full years I was having trouble with finding my own path. Ever since I finished high school, I knew I wanted something more out of this life, and I just didn't figure it out. So what I did, I found out about online business, online income. And the first thing that I've noticed is that there are a lot of things. But the main thing I focused on at the beginning was marketing. And yeah, once again, don't worry about my handwriting. My marketing. And I was learning online and learning, and there were a bunch of different things. Later on, I transitioned into real estate. Then later on, it went to affiliate marketing, then e-commerce, then freelancing, and then what? Probably consulting, trading. So a bunch of different things. Basically, you name it, I probably tried it. Or coding, SAA, software as a service, bunch of different things. And I never really stuck with one. I have been trying to focus on one thing, but I couldn't. And I constantly switched, so I was learning for 1-2 weeks to a month, and then I changed it. Now, I always thought that that thing that I was learning isn't for me, which is basically not the whole truth. Because once I started learning about all of these different things, I was always thinking that this guy, for example, is making 1 million per year. And I was like, wow, that's a lot, that's good. But then I saw this guy for real estate, and he was making like 10 million per year. And I was like, oh, that might be better. And then this, and this, and this, and so forth, and so forth. Whenever I tried one thing, for example, freelancing, just to make, let's say, $2,000 per month, I saw that you can make with software as a service $2,000 per month much faster, because that one guy is making it, which is not true. Everybody in one of these things and more is making a lot of money. And it's just consistency. Consistency and doing what you love. Actually enjoying it. For example, do you enjoy coding, programming? Well, you can actually make programs without coding now, but back when I was learning, you had to do coding. Did you like sitting in front of PC and just code for hours? Or did you like looking at charts for trading? Did you like video editing? We all have the same amount of hours per day. And in each of these business paths, whatever, you have the same amount of time to put into it. Now, are you going to do, let's say, 2 hours of coding? Or will you do 2 hours of, let's say, doing for e-commerce, actually testing things out, doing the ads and stuff? So let's just type e-com. So over time, so maybe the e-commerce will make you faster results, but over time, it's gonna be at the same time. Like, over time, as you progress, as you learn, you will get to the same point, either with coding or with e-commerce. And this is already low, sorry about that. You will get to the same amount, or approximately the same, doesn't really matter. And it's up to you to decide what will you spend your time on? What do you actually enjoy? You see, it's not about picking the business that's gonna make you a lot of money. It's about picking the business that you find enjoyment in doing that work required to the business. So I can get it clear. So for coding, yes, you can make a lot of money. You can make a bunch of things. Today, like, it's everything about technology almost. We are moving to that era. But do you actually enjoy sitting down in front of the computer, researching the topics and coding, or using AI software to code for you, and then you need to revision it or actually pay someone? Do you enjoy those tasks? Or would you prefer to do freelancing video editing? Would you prefer doing the video editing for hours? So, you see, the point is not about... Sorry. You see, the point is not about just picking the business that makes a lot of money, listening to someone telling you this is the best business model today. If you don't do it, you're gonna have a FOMO, fear of missing out. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The biggest FOMO that was probably crypto. But even then, if you didn't have money, if you didn't know what the fuck you were doing, of course you will make money. You will actually lost it all. Give me just 1 second to drink water. So, pick the business which has the tasks that you enjoy doing. Now, over this period of time, I learned a lot about myself. Because all of those things that I was learning and researching and trying, I was only learning. I was not really doing the actual work. I tried a bunch of things, but I never made any money because I didn't commit to it fully. And I only been like 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and that's it, poof. I'm out of this shit. Let's go to the other thing. And I want you to know this, that I learned this from Sam Owens. The grass is not the greener on the other side. It's greener where we water it. Meaning, you have your garden, your business. And it's not done yet. It's only at the beginning of the stage. And you're trying, and you're trying, and you're trying, and the literal grass starts growing, but that's about it. Then, over the fence, you see a garden full of trees, grass, and everything. And then you wonder, oh, what this guy is doing is probably much better than what am I doing here. So you jump to his garden or to his business and you try to replicate it, only to find out that you're even worse than you were here. But you still start doing something. And then over time, you're like, fuck this is not working. Over the fence, there's, again, all of this. But if you're actually focused on doing one thing, one business or whatever on your garden, and it starts like this, and over time, a tree. This is a tree, okay? Then over time, more grass, more trees, etc. So focus only on your tasks that you find enjoyment. Now, you might be wondering, but I don't know what tasks do I enjoy. Well, I understand. Trust me, I understand. 8 years, man. So how do we fix that? There are few things I recommend you to do. And actually, I'm gonna start telling you how I found my path, and how I figure it out. So over the past, I don't know, 1 year, maybe less actually, since October, November, I learned about myself more than I did in these 8 years, and probably the last 1 or 2 months more than I did ever. And I'm 26 years old in December, turning in December. So, things I did. I figured out my MBTI type. And I am an INTP. So, INTP. And now I figure it out that why do I keep switching things? Because I'm interested in so many things, and I know that I can be good at anything that I want to. And I'm constantly searching for some logic, for the meaning, for the truth in something, in anything. And once I figure it out, once I go deep into the topic, I move to the another one, and so forth and so forth. Now you might be something else, you might be the exact same type. If you are the exact same type, this will help you much more, but if you're any other type, it can still help you. You just have to figure out your type and read about it. Don't think that, oh, just because I am this type and this type behaves in this way, I need to behave it in this way. No, it's not true. It's just that you have some preferences, you have strengths and your weaknesses. And for me, my strength is my thirst for knowledge, which can also be a double-edged sword, as you can see, because I constantly switch things. But for example, if I focused on quantum physics like Einstein did, that is an endless amount of research to do, an experiment. But from the STEM field, and STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, mathematics. I'm only good at mathematics, maybe technology. But I was always good at mathematics, but I just don't find myself doing that. So I was researching, and I found out about this thing called flow state. And that's when you are constantly in the flow state, when you're doing something, your mind is not absent and you're focusing. Even for my mind, I have a million thoughts in a day. Ever since I wake up, I have constantly streaming thoughts. But when I'm in the flow state, I'm just focusing on that one thing. Maybe some things come around, but that's about it. I switch back to my thing. And I was researching this and I was experimenting with myself. That's the second tip. Actually, the first one is figuring out your type. The second is reading about it, knowing a little bit. And then the third thing is figuring out your flow state, your flow task, what you actually enjoy doing. And I was researching, experimenting, and I have a few things. First one is video games, but this can be counterproductive, so I'm trying actually not to play anymore. I know that I said I'm gonna record a video about how is it going, and it will come. It will be like maybe not week 1, week 2, maybe it will be 1 to 1, month 2. The second thing is learning and researching. But it's not just learning for the sake of learning, it's the learning for the sake of finding the truth and meaning. And it's about the topics that I find interesting. So it's not about being the student in school and researching about, I don't know, what certain person did that I didn't ever heard of, and I don't care what he did. But for example, if I'm researching Immanuel Kant, which is a philosopher, I'm going to be interested and I'm going to learn. And the third and final thing, and this is actually the most important, writing. Now, of all of these things, these three things, video games is a no, because I don't want to be sitting there and playing video games all day. I can play for 30 minutes to an hour, to just relax, to get my thoughts out of my way and just relax my brain a little bit. But no, I don't want to be doing that for whole life. Learning and researching, yes, I like that. Writing, yes. I learned that writing is the thing, because I can write. Just yesterday I wrote like 500 words, no, actually 600 and something words in 5 minutes. I know maybe it's not much, maybe it's small amount, I really don't know, but I wrote it and I felt amazing. And a few months ago I wrote, and I felt amazing. I was writing every single day, but I stopped because I didn't know this. I'm just telling you now to focus on your flow task. I actually wrote a story once. It was a few months ago, like Old Town Mysteries. If you want, you can check in the description. I'll link it below. And I felt amazing writing that. But keep in mind that I was never good at writing. Maybe I'm still not good at writing, but I enjoy it. In school, I was getting really bad grades for writing. It was because, first of all, I wasn't reading any books. And second of all, I was not interested in the topics that they gave us to write about. And the topics were mostly about the books that we were supposed to read, but I didn't. So I was getting bad grades. But ever since, I still remember from high school, I was writing letters for birthday presents. And I liked it, I enjoyed it. Even today, I still enjoy writing. And as my mind is constantly thinking, I have so many ideas to write about fiction stories, about my research, whatever. But here's the thing, I'm not gonna be doing like writing. This is my flow task. There's so many paths, like business paths, to choose with writing. And it's important to choose the correct business path. So figure this out, my writing. I enjoy writing when I'm writing about things that I'm interested in, but I hate writing when there's a certain topic that I don't like. So I probably won't be a good freelance writer if the topic is about something that I'm not interested in, like fairy tales, like Barbies, for example. I don't know. I'm not interested in that. So I want to write good. But if I'm writing something that I'm interested in, then hell yeah. So, that's the third step. Figure out your flow task. If you don't know how, think about what you actually enjoy doing. Whatever it may be, write it down on the list. Just keep writing the list until you find it. Try things out. It took me 8 years, but with this, it can take you a few weeks. And honestly, even if it takes 1 month or longer, it's better than to take 8 years. I'm giving you a blueprint about what helped me. So that's the third step. And now the fourth step is figuring out the business model. Now, the business model you can do, there's a bunch of different business models. And I recommend you to write your flow task state and see business paths. You can even ask ChatGPT to help you out. That's what I did. Believe it or not, I've been chatting with a ChatGPT specific window for over a year now. You might call me crazy, but when I click on it and it loads for like a minute or two. So the fourth step is figuring out the business path. And it doesn't really matter. What matters the most is that it's using your flow task state and you actually enjoy doing it. That's pretty much it. Just You can ask ChatGPT, hey, this is my thing that I love doing, can you recommend me some paths? And it will give you, and from there, you start researching. You don't stop. You start researching, you start learning, and you see. But you probably already know the different paths you can do. Now for me, I have figured it out almost. So I love writing, and I actually love philosophy because I'm always seeking the truth and meaning, and I don't like authorities. I love self-employment. I don't love being held accountable, and that's it. I love my freedom. So I'm gonna be writing every single day at least 500 words per day. I'm gonna be recording videos for YouTube probably bi-weekly, so once every 2 weeks. I'm gonna be writing my newsletter and my blog every week, at least once per week. I'm probably gonna have my community just to talk about different things that I find enjoyment in. That's pretty much it. I might offer some consulting services about different things like health, philosophical thinking, like just talking, something about writing. But my main point is not to sell you anything. My main point is to do the thing that I love and make just enough money to go by the month. And if it grows, great. If it doesn't, I'm happy. I don't have to work for someone else. I can work for myself. That's it. That's amazing. So I will be writing, and I'm gonna be writing the book. So my plan is to write 2 books per year as minimum, and start publishing them. My plan is to write the book by the end of this year and publish it. I'm gonna be writing my newsletter, my blog. I'm gonna keep updating. I'm gonna record videos like talking about some things like this or some philosophical things. And I'm gonna have my community probably on Skool or Discord. I'll see. I don't really know much. I mean, I do, but I haven't researched it a lot. And I don't use Discord, so probably Skool because I'm using Skool. Skool. Dang, that's an ugly ass. I don't fucking care. Yeah, that's it. I know this is like a big goal. I know this is not what everybody is telling you. I know this is not the exact step by step. Like, oh, you should go trading, and this is what you do, and buy my course. You're gonna make a lot of money, and so will I. Woohoo! Or do affiliate marketing so you can promote my product even more. You can make me richer. I'm gonna make you slightly rich. Jeez, thank you. No, I'm not gonna do that. Just live your life how you want to live it. Don't listen to anyone else. There's a lot to talk about that, but this is probably gonna be the next video. when I remember to record it. But let me lay out to you the steps, and that will be it. So the thing that you need to do is to acquire self-knowledge. Hey, it's gonna fall. There. Sorry about that. Self-knowledge. This gone off the rail. I don't care. Self-knowledge. So how do you acquire this? So first thing, I'm not really good at this, but okay. Figure out your MBTI type. Second, research it. Second is research and learn about it. So read about it. Figure out your strengths and weaknesses. So let's say pros and cons. pros and cons. The third thing you need to do, what was it? Is to figure out your flow task. So flow task state. The fourth is, and the final one, is figuring out the business path that aligns with the flow task state. And the fifth and final thing, I didn't talk about this, but this is the most important one as well. That's why the big ass 5. The fifth and final thing is consistency. Be consistent. Don't change this thing. Don't change the path. Figure out your roadmap. That's pretty much it. Now, I just want to give you one last tip and I'm out. You can use ChatGPT to help you out. What I did is I wrote a story about myself, everything, my goals, my weaknesses, my strengths, my type, my flow text state, everything. I wrote it, I typed to ChatGPT, and I told it to give me something. So give me 5 business paths that aligns with me and my story, and rate it from 1 to 10 how much it resonates with me. That's the perfect match for me. And I also wrote it to not be biased and just tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear. Because when I figured out for ChatGPT that it gives you some answers that you want to hear, give it that prompt. I mean, if you want, I can write it in the description, just so you know. And just write the full story, and that's it. Oh, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna do, for myself, I'm gonna do writing. I'm gonna use some philosophical thinking into the writing, like a storyline, because I'm not really good with emotions, but I'm really good at storytelling. Actually, I'm getting better at it. And figure out the plot and everything. So what I will do, like use philosophical things into the characters. If that makes sense. If not, you're just gonna have to wait for a book at the end of the year and you'll see. That's it. I'm creating my blog, my website. Until now, I'm using Beehive, whatever. You can check in the description. And if you want to have a written form of this, it's also in the description of my blog, my Beehive. So you have that. I'm gonna give you a prompt. Did I promise you something else? I'm gonna give you the link for this. I think that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped you. If not, you can actually message me on Skool. Just type skool.com and search me up, my full name. And I'm happy to chat with you. Until next time, I'm out.